super curious to hear, like, just from a high level, what your LinkedIn strategy is. Like, this is a lot of these questions are going to be like selfish questions because
No,
I'm
please.
trying to get more. I'm trying to get more on the platform. But I think this is going to be super helpful for anyone else who's in my position too, who's like, oh, I hear about LinkedIn. I see people creating content there. I want to take that first step into creating content on LinkedIn. And I'm sure it's, everyone needs their own like custom tailored strategy, but like at a high level, what does that look like for you?
A high level is figuring out some branding pillars, whatever you want to call that. I think 5 is a good number, but appealing those brand pillars to specific pockets of your community. So you have your content that's super down in the weeds, that's for like the people that are in the journey with you. They're freelancing, they're side by side with you, they're creators as well. Then there's the content for the early people, the ones that are earlier in their journey than you are. You can share your insights about what you've gained, the process pieces, where you can reflect on stuff that's worked for you and hasn't worked for you. That's the stuff that really brings in that community of people that look up to you for advice and look up to you for your insights. And then like the really high level or whatever, top of the tier, the really specific stuff that speaks straight to your target audience. That's a good place to start. And then taking that and developing execution pillars, as I like to call them. But, basically for me, what it looks like for me is on Monday, I come in and I tell a really good story about my past and how it relates to my current. And then Tuesday, I come in with a super tactical piece about LinkedIn strategy. The weekend is worn off. You kind of have to think about like the Monday through Friday grind sometimes with the way the LinkedIn algorithm works. But yeah, and then Tuesday, tactical. Wednesday, I do a process piece where I share something I learned, something that I got really pumped about. I bring people into my world. And then Thursday, I just relate it back to my brand pillars of content, community, social, engagement, all that stuff, and just kind of keep it random. And then Friday, I do a community piece where I call out someone that I think is awesome or a group of people that I think are awesome. And it's not those posts you see where it's just like tag, like I want to get a bunch of reach. It's like I'm going into depth about why this person's awesome and why I think I appreciate them, because I really love describing people and I really love giving recommendations too, because I go really deep with it and I try to like talk really to the core of why people are valuable. So yeah, same sort of stuff, just give that love out to my community and just give a shout out, because I really think on LinkedIn a little goes a long way. And having a sticky following of people, same with TikTok or whatever, like, you wouldn't be able to do it without them clicking those buttons over and over again and giving you that love. So yeah, that's the thing. That's how I kind of look at it.
Yeah. I mean, and it sounds like the principles across all of these platforms, they tend to always be the same, right? It's just like the execution pieces that might be a little bit different. So from that high level strategy, it sounds like you're doing one post a day, Monday through Friday. Is that correct?
I do usually 2, actually. So I'll do a context piece in the morning where I get really down into the weeds, and then I'm resharing my video content back from TikTok in the afternoon, and I'm nearly doubling my engagement each time. And on LinkedIn, people are fatigued. People get tired of reading, and the old guard of LinkedIn just wants to write, no videos, none of that stuff. But like putting that video content out there and sharing that is super helpful for the algorithm, and people really enjoy that and they connect with it and they connect with you. And now we're getting all the analytics on it too. And it seems like the two pieces are competing really closely now too. So it's even more motivating. So that's kind of how I go about it. And I pull from my notes section all the ideas, capture them throughout the week. Whenever I'm out there and you say something or somebody else says something awesome, I get a cool nugget of wisdom. I save it into my notes app. I put it under TikTok, Twitter, LinkedIn, whatever. And then I just come back in when I'm ready to write that post for that day. And I'll just pull from those little nuggets, and I can usually fly with it. And keeping it really fresh too makes it a lot of fun, and it keeps it really conversational, because the LinkedIn content from the old guard, as I like to say, is super stuffy. There's no good hooks. It's not written by people that are really caring about the user experience, like LinkedIn should be fun and it should be enjoyable, and there should be a lot of storytelling and a lot of insight. And it's not like, oh, I work at X company and I do this thing and like it's really cool for our customers. And it's like, we don't care. Like we know where you work, like it says it right on your name. Like what matters to you, like so that's what I really like to expose, and I really enjoy it. And I think people really connect with it, and they're like, I want to do this too. And that's what I hope. I hope people see it and they're like, I want to create that as well.